Video, I'm going to go over how to do a two-dimensional design in Fusion. So we're going to start a sketch, and we're going to start a sketch on a plane in order to start drawing. I'm going to go to this Create Sketch button here, or click the down arrow, and go to Create Sketch in Create. And I'm going to click on one of these vertical planes here. It doesn't really matter which one you do, but I think we're going to start with a vertical part of our design. So I'm going to click right here. And then now you're auto-rotated into your two-dimensional design. It's a good idea to just pan and zoom, but not orbit necessarily when you're designing in a sketch. There are times when you need to, but usually it's going to get you confused. If you do end up orbiting out of the plane of your sketch a little bit, usually what I recommend is hitting Finish Sketch, and then right-clicking on your sketch from your history down below here, and clicking Edit Sketch to get back into that perfect view that you're looking for. All right, you can see how many inches we've got up here. We already set our document settings, and right now we're just looking at about 2 inches this way. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit to get to a bigger view, but you don't really have to right away. Your things will adjust in a minute, but I'm going to click to create a rectangle now. I'm going to make a leg for a stool. So if I go to Create Rectangle, the 2-point rectangle, that's going to let me start the way that I'd like to. You can also hit shortcut R to get to here. I'm going to start from the origin. Usually it makes sense to align something in your design with the origin, where all the zeros are in the axes. I'm going to place a point up here, and I usually don't do this very carefully. I usually do the careful part after I've created the rectangle, though it is possible to do it before. So the way I do it most of the time is I now go to Create and Sketch Dimension, or shortcut D, and then I'm going to click on an edge and then move my mouse without dragging, but just move my mouse to the side, and then click here anywhere that looks good for a dimension line, and make this thing 15 inches tall. And I'm going to hit Enter. That's going to make it the right size for this leg, and also it's going to be precisely that now. Now I'm going to make my leg thickness the same as what we did on our stools. I'm going to make them 2 inches wide this way, and then hit Enter. That was shortcut D for dimension that time, and then click on the line and click out here. These lines out here are not part of your design. They are just telling you how big something is. Okay, next step we're going to do is draw the frame of our design here. So I'm going to go R for rectangle, or Create Rectangle, 2-point rectangle, shortcut R. You can see next to my mouse now I have a tool for rectangle. I'm going to click right here at the corner and then move my mouse sort of randomly to the side. I can show you that you could type right here 2 and then tab, and I could tab over to do 8 inches here. But I usually do dimensioning, but this works as well. You'll just notice that once you made it, oh, it did add dimensions for me that time. It actually didn't used to do that. Okay, that's a little bit faster. All right, now what I'm going to do is make these things cut a taper on my legs. So I'm going to go L for line, or Create Line, shortcut L. I'm going to start just below this edge here, and then click down on this line here. I'm going to do so imprecisely, and then I'm going to come back and dimension these things as I would like them to be. I'm going to zoom in here and go D for dimension, shortcut D. Click on this point and this point, and then move my mouse straight down and click right here. This should be 1.25 to match our design exactly. And I'm going to zoom out again. Up here, I'm going to go D for dimension, click there, and move my mouse. I think out's a little bit better, but you could go either way. I'm going to call this 0.75, which is what we were shooting for in our original design here. All right, our actual design has a cut right here, but I'm not going to do that level of sophistication this time around. I'm going to go E for extrude. Oh, I'm sorry, that was a bad step. Let me not do that. So to do this the correct way, you're going to go to Finish Sketch to get out of your two-dimensional view, and then you're going to go to Create Extrude. Fusion 360 can do that for you. If you just start a new command, it'll kick you out of the sketch automatically, but this is a little bit better to do sort of more accurately. E for extrude. I'm going to click on this and this. Right now I'm selecting two-dimensional shapes to make three-dimensional, which comes up right here in this window as these two selected items. And then I'm going to make these, I'm going to orbit a little bit with Shift and the middle button on the mouse, the scroll wheel. And I'm going to say these things should be 1.25. This little window here copies over to the distance over here. And then we're going to click OK. All right, this is an approximation of what we did in real life on our stools. And I'm going to now start to draw the seat on here. I'm going to go to create a sketch. And when we create a two-dimensional sketch, we don't have to just click on one of these three planes. You can click on any flat surface. I'm going to click right here and get the top. Now I'm going to do a circle for the top of the stool. C for circle, or create circle, center, diameter, circle. That means I'm selecting the center of the circle, and then I'm applying the diameter to it by moving my mouse out. And I want this circle to be 12 inches in diameter, so I can just type 12 and hit enter. You can also use this. I'm going to get this out of my way, my sketch palette. Okay. Now, there's lots of constraints and things you can add to things. So if I just want to draw lines over here, I can do this. I could add mirror symmetry. I can do curves like this. I can do all kinds of stuff in here. In the Modify window, we're generally changing existing lines by using any of the tools in the Modify window. And constraints are sort of geometric limitations on our design. Right now, I don't have any need for them right now, but what I would do is if I say wanted to put a line out here, and I wanted that line to touch the circle, I could say that it needs to be tangent. This line needs to be tangent to this circle, and then it would suck it over and connect it to that side. There's a lot of great examples. The most commonly used ones in here are oh, by the way, Command Z Control Z is how you undo anything that you do, or you can use the undo and the redo buttons up here as well. If you want something to be horizontal or vertical, you can use this. If you want it to be touching, two lines touching, coincident. If you want to do tangent, which we just did, you can do that. If you want to make two things equal, parallel, etc., there's all sorts of cool stuff you can use in there. All right, I'm done with my circle. I'm going to go to Finish Sketch, and then I'm going to go to Create Extrude, or shortcut E, to get this seat up here. And when I click here, notice how it doesn't include this. I can just include it by clicking on it, and then I'm going to make it 0.75 in thickness. This is a big thing that everyone always struggles with. Once you add something that's connected to something else in Fusion, it wants to join it together. We usually, when we're designing for woodworking, want to make them a new body. So we're going to make this a separate body and say OK. And now if you look in our browser, under bodies, you can see we've got our leg and frame, and we've got our circular seat. There's a lot of detail about our previous design that I'm not including, but I want to just make it easy to get started and learn a few new things here. Oh, I'm remembering this seat's going to be wrong. The legs are going to be wrong because I made them too big, but that's okay. All right, now we're going to go to rotate 3 legs around here. One thing that Fusion's really great for is making a bunch of the same thing. So we're going to go to Create, Pattern, and Circular Pattern. In Circular Pattern, I'm going to copy bodies. I'm going to grab this body, and I'm going to copy it around an axis. An axis can be either a circle or a line. I'm going to grab this to be our circle, and it's going to copy 3 legs around. You'll notice now that they're definitely too big, but that's okay. This is just practice. I'm going to move this a little bit so you can see that. I'm just going to click OK right here. All right. There's a beginnings of a stool. I should have made this line 6 inches, and it would have looked better. So let's look at how to go back and change things. I'm going to go back to this sketch right here. No, I think it was the first sketch right here. I'm going to right-click on this and click Edit Sketch. This line here should be 6 inches. I'm going to double-click on that measurement, make it 6, and hit Enter. and then I'm going to finish sketch. Now, there's still problems with this stool. That does not look exactly like the stool that we created, but it is a little bit closer and a good practice step to start with your design process. All right, make sure you save your file. And for this assignment, I'm looking for you to take a screenshot of this from a different angle so that I know that you designed it and you got a chance to try out a few skills in Fusion 360. All right, more later.